Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I've got a drone for you today. This is the W80 drone by ATTOP. They sell drones on Amazon. This is a GPS camera drone. GPS, that means it'll hold its position when you let go of the sticks. And it has a 2-axis gimbal with a 4K camera on it. Now, I'm not sure if that 4K means 4K pictures or 4K video. However, brushless motors, GPS, it should be a fairly reasonably powerful drone. And other than that, I don't know a whole lot about it yet. So let's get it out of the box and let's take a look at it. Okay, I got it out of the box here, and yeah, I mean, it's a good looking case. It's got the ATTOP logo on the bottom, suitcase style, carry handle there, double pull zipper. So let's get it open and see what's in there. So here it is. Got it unzipped here. Let's get this camera set up and let's take a closer look. Okay, let's take a closer look at what we've got here. What I like is when they give you very upfront instructions like you see here, particularly on these kind of drones, because often it is first-time drone users that buy this type of drone, and you just can't have enough instructions. So anyway, here is the drone itself. Obviously, no battery in it. Couple of things. Oh, I just pulled the camera cover off there. Yeah, and it says don't touch the gimbal. But looks like we have a couple of LED lights on the bottom. Now, is that a time of flight sensor? I am not sure. I don't know if that's a sensor or just a piece of plastic there. But these are pretty clearly LED lights is what those are. And the reason that you put a sensor on the bottom of the drone is to tell it how far off the ground it is and where it's at in space. So I am not sure if that is a sensor or not. Hard to tell. Let's go ahead and get the, obviously I'll have to peel off all these stickers and stuff at some point. But let's go ahead and see if we can take a look and at the arms on the drone. Okay, so again, they've got some pretty clear instructions. It says unfold the front arms first and then the rear arms. That's pretty common. So let's open this guy up. So there it is, fully open. I think we ought to take a battery out and put it in there so we get the full view. Here's a battery. It is a 2500 milliamp battery. Does it say on there if it's a LiPo or not? It doesn't, but I'm assuming that it's a LiPo battery. Let's take a look for charging. There should be a charge port here someplace. Okay, I don't see a charge port on the battery, so I'm assuming that it must have to be charged while in the drone. So let's insert it in the drone here. And it looks like just straight down, and it should snap in. Well, I didn't hear a snap, but it's definitely in place here because I can't pull it out. Anyway, so let's get a better look at this drone. So here's a top side view. It's a fairly, as you can see, it's a fairly good sized drone. So yeah, there's my hand over the top so you can kind of see the size of it. I'm going to say about the size of like a DJI Mavic Air. And by the way, this is not a sub 250 gram drone, so you will have to register it with the FAA, which is no big deal. It's $5, no big deal at all. So anyway, here's a look at the camera, and you can see there's still a piece of plastic over that. It does say 4K on that camera, so again, I'm not sure if that's pictures and video both, or just pictures and what the video resolution it is. We will find out. There is a spot for an SD card right there. So of course we'll put an SD card in it. That's good news. That tells us with it for sure we're going to get some kind of high definition video off of it. And we looked at the bottom already. Looks like there's possibly a fan under it right there. Not much to see on this side. So yeah, other than that, pretty conventional looking design. I do like to see these brushless motors on here. That means that it's going to be a reasonably powerful drone and be able to fight the wind fairly good. Let's take a look at the remote. So here's the RC, and it's got the usual foam covers on there. And let's see, what are they saying on this wrap that they have around it. Yeah, they're just telling you how to charge the remote, so it needs to be charged before use, and that is a good thing. I find that remotes with an internal battery tend to be more powerful and have a better connection. You'll see some of the bargain price drones that are powered by AA batteries, and to me they tend not to have as good a connection. And yeah, look, a USB-C connection right there. I like seeing USB-C rather than a micro USB. So that's a good thing. As far as buttons, this is, I assume, for unlocking the motors. And then we do have a return to home button here, takeoff and landing button there, take video, take pictures on the top. This could be a number of things. That's probably either speed mode or it could be a headless mode. That's possible. What you see down here, these are just handles on the bottom. And an antenna here, and I am looking at these antenna, and I do not see any wires in the antenna. So, you know, that tells me that's not a good thing. That means that they're just there for looks only. I can't say that for certain. There may be a wire in there that I just can't see, but typically, yeah, I don't see anything on this side either. So you could probably leave these antennae folded up and it wouldn't make any difference on this drone. Here is where you hook your mobile device up. So you're going to put the mobile device in there. And yeah, typically you can tip it up like that so you can get your mobile device in so that you can see it. And that, of course, is going to hook up Wi-Fi. And it says Wolvy on here. And so I don't know if that's a brand name or the name of the drone itself. Well, no, Wolvy is what that says. That's a W, not a V, because I'm looking on the front of the drone. And again, it's the W80, so that kind of makes sense. And I guess we didn't look at that. I'm going to bring the drone back in here so you can see. It says Wolvy Pro right there. So W80, Wolvy Pro. It's an ATTOP is the name of the drone company, the company that makes it. So anyway, I did notice you got an on and off switch on the side here. That's how you turn the RC on. So you need to get that charged up. I guess the other thing that we didn't look at is this little roller right here, which is going to be on your left side when you're facing it, is for changing the camera angle. Here's how you're going to change your speed mode, is the roller on the other side. So that's good to know. So this button down here, I presume, is probably headless mode. We'll find out when we get it out to fly it. Okay, here is the charger. So I've solved the charging issues. So the battery is going to simply sit like that on the charger, and then you hook a USB-C. You're going to have your own charge block, and then USB-C input there, and that is how you charge the battery. So one at a time. We've kind of solved our mystery there. So there's another bag in the top of the case. Let's take a look at what's in here. I'm going to say the ubiquitous cables, and I can for sure see a screwdriver in there, spare props, etc. And yeah, that's exactly what we have. We have a USB-A to USB-C cable, a screwdriver for changing props, and then a full set of extra props. So that's a good thing. Hopefully you don't have that kind of a problem, but if you did, there it is. And then extra screws. And the reason that these screws are important is that they do have thread locker on them. So once you take the screws, you know, these are the screws that hold the props on. Once you take those out, you're going to want to clean the threads in the motor. So I'd run the screw up and down through there a couple of times, and then always use the new screws that have thread locker so that you make sure you hold them in place. Hopefully, you know, props aren't something that you should have to replace routinely, but things do happen from time to time. Okay, there was also a document envelope in the top of the case there, and I'm suspecting that is our manual. Yep, W80 instructions for use and a quick guide. So those are handy. And again, there's the QR code for 24/7 assistance. I'm assuming that is going to take us to the app. Well, there's the app right there from a QR code so that you can download the app from the App Store or Google Play. And it, just tells you how to connect it Wi-Fi and so forth. So looks like a pretty straightforward quick start guide here. So I like that. And yeah, what's the next step for us? We need to take this drone out in the field and let's fly it around. Let's check out the features. Let's check out the camera. Like what I always say with regard to GPS camera drones is what we're looking for is good, steady video out of that camera. So we'll get it out in the field and we'll check it out. Hey, I'm breaking in here really quick to tell you, you're going to see when I'm trying to take off here and messing around, I could not get the drone to accept an SD card. I tried 3 different SanDisk SD cards. I finally used an 8 gigabyte card. I was able to get the drone to format that card. However, I still had the SD card error, and indeed, when I got home to check to see if it recorded anything on the card, it didn't. So I have no SD card video. So the video that you're going to see is all off of the cache video from my iPhone, but I just show things as I find them when I review these drones, so bear that in mind on this one. Hey, when I got home here, I looked up the price of this drone on Amazon, and it's $399. They do have a coupon, one of those where you just check the box for $30 off. So, yeah, I mean, $369, I guess, would be the price that you'd pay for this drone. That's a little pricey, but I'll let you guys decide if you feel like if that's worth it or not. But just wanted to let you know what I saw. Hey everybody, okay, we're out in the field with the ATTOP W80, or as it says on the side here, the Wolvy Pro. But at any rate, let's quit messing around. Let's get this guy up in the air and let's just see how she does. Got the nice 2-axis gimbal on here. I've got a 64 gig SanDisk Extreme card in here. Should be plenty fast enough for recording what I believe is 4K video on this guy. So let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, the first thing we need to do here is get the drone hooked up Wi-Fi to my phone. Fire up the drone, and that's just a single press on that drone to get it fired up. And then if I go into my Wi-Fi settings, I should see the ATTOP come up here. Yeah, the W80 right there. So we're going to connect to that. And unsecured network. And we're connected. So let me fire up the controller next. Well, we can mount my phone to the controller, which is just that easy. It's on the top there in this clamp. And I will tell you, all you need to do with these antennas is just get them out of the way, because they're just there for looks only. So now let's fire up the controller. Got an on-off switch right here, and let's see how long it takes it to connect. And it seems like it did instantly, so we're good to go there. Okay, so next we need to get the app fired up, so I'm going to go find it here. It is the ATTOP View app, and it's showing the yeah, there it got the W80, and we are going to use cellular data. And yeah, so I think at this point we can just simply click on Start Flying, and it gives us a little instruction here, but it's upside down. So yeah, I don't know here. Might have to turn the phone around maybe. You know, most of these apps will reorient themselves automatically, but evidently not this one. So let me turn it around in my phone. Okay guys, I'm all set. I got this set correctly here, and introduction for beginners, and yeah, it was even hard to see, so because it was dark, but it tells you about the app there, so you can do a screenshot of that if you wish. And let's go ahead and click next. Ready to fly. So this particular drone, in order to do in order to start the motors, you have to unlock them first, and that's this button right down here. Yeah, okay, let's see. It says status SD card not detected, so we better take care of that first. Let me click on that. Let me click and let's see if we can find where to, we want to turn beginner mode off, and flight distance, we want to move that up to max, and flight altitude, it's hard to see because of, yeah, that's got to be close. The notch on my phone is getting in the way there, but we're going to click save there. Let's go back in here and let's click on the camera. Maybe we can find, yeah, maybe not. Okay, let's go into, let's look here. Compass calibration, I don't want to do that yet. I'm trying to figure out surround radius. Yeah, when we do, we'll leave that at 16 feet. That's when we do the orbit. Camera, that's gimbal adjusting, so we're not going to mess with that yet. I'm going to go into metric on that, as I always do. So how do we format that card in this drone? Let's click here. Yeah, so I don't see a camera menu, guys, and it's not seeing an SD card. So I'm going to take the card out and reconnect it here. Okay, there is nothing in the manual for formatting the card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another card and we'll try that. Okay, we're still getting that card error. I'm going to restart the drone, see if that'll help. Yeah, it's telling me device is not connected, so I probably should have just quit while I was ahead and just saved. Yeah, so it's connected to the drone on Wi-Fi. This is the kind of stuff that just will drive you crazy with these kind of drones. And I always feel bad for new flyers that aren't used to dealing with this kind of stuff. So, see if I can get back into the app. Connecting to the aircraft. Okay, looks like we're connected again, so that's good. Yeah, it's still saying it doesn't see the card. I've got one more that I'll try. I'm going to take a card out of my other camera. Like I said, I'm using SanDisk Extreme cards. I have a lesser SanDisk card, but I don't know. Let's. I'm going to take a card out of my other Action 2 camera, which I look at that, and that is the same SanDisk Extreme, so there's no point in that. I do have a lesser card. I have an 8 GB SanDisk Ultra. So is 64 gigs too big for this drone? It's possible. Some of them limit you to 32 gigs. So let's try this 8 GB card. Yeah, we still have that TF card error. So whatever we get today is just going to be what we can save to the phone. So resolution is not going to be good, but it is what it is. And when I test these drones, hey, there it's asking me to format it. Okay. Confirm. There we go. Well, we may get it after all. So it probably was limited to a 32 GB card, I'd be willing to bet. And when I stuck an 8 in there, and it is formatting it. So it still says the card needs to be formatted. So I don't know, guys. Let's go ahead and unlock the drone. And the way we do that is this unlock button down here. And that fires it up. And then we're going to click the takeoff button, which is the next button to the right. And there we go. It took off. Yeah, now it's moving up. It's in pretty good shape here. I'm going to take the camera over so you can take a look at it. These kind of drones, it's almost better to fly them over to, or to bring the camera to them than it is to try and fly them to the camera. But this guy's rock steady. I mean, it's holding very steady. Okay, let's see if we can start recording. And it's a little awkward the way this is set up because my mobile device is kind of, if you look where the button is here, but let's see if we can start. And yeah, it started recording. So is it recording to the SD card? I can't tell you. I have no clue. Let's hope it is. So now I'm yawing it around, and you see I'm just using the, whoa. Yeah, the drone is moving in a circle here, so we are going to land it. Yep. Okay, before we get take off here, let's go ahead and do a compass calibration. Both sticks up, and I don't see anything, so let's go into the settings here, and I saw that earlier. Let's start compass calibration. And on this guy, they said 3 rotations. So there's 1, 2, 3. And they said the lights would blink. Yeah, they're blinking, I guess. Yeah, and then 3 vertically. So there's 1, 2, 3, and that's vertical. And the gimbal is freaking out on us, and we're supposed to get solid lights. The lights are still blinking, so I don't know if we're calibrated or not. Yeah, now I'm seeing solid lights, so I guess we're good to go. And then on the app it says confirm when the compass is calibrated. And I thought at that point it would go into the horizontal calibration, but I didn't see any indication that it was. So let's start horizontal calibration. Please confirm whether horizontal calibration is carried out. Well, we did it to the best of my ability. Okay, let's take off. And what we're going to do is we're going to start recording. And I want to point out that you got to push down this little the button. The phone is kind of in the way, so it's a little awkward. But let's start recording, and we did. Whether we're recording to the SD card or not, I don't know. Unlock, we're going to hit this button on the left-hand side. That starts the motors, and then takeoff is the button on the right-hand side. And there it takes off. Let's get some video of the drone. We'll bring the camera over, give you some video of the drone. Some of these drones like this, I think it's easier to bring the camera to the drone than it is the drone to the camera. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's see if we can yaw it around here. Doing a slow yaw, and the drone is kind of moving around a little bit. It's that's just the yaw stick, and you see it moving. So yeah. In any case, let me see if I can bring it in here a little bit, and we'll set ourselves up for our droney. Okay, so I believe that is the wheel on the side. Yeah, so that should put it in low speed. Oh no, that's the gimbal adjustment. Okay, then it's the other wheel. So 2 beeps there should be in high speed. So so let's see if we can get our, and we're recording, let's see if we can get our manual droney here. Reverse and up now. And that's in high speed. We're going to stop right there. See if we can bring this guy back to us a little. You kind of want to get to know the drone a little bit and how it's going to fly. This is my first flight with it, so moving forward here. And what we'll do here in a second is we'll try out the landing on it, make sure that we have a good home point. And there's the drone right there. Let's see how far away from me. It says we're 71 meters away. It doesn't look that far away, but maybe it is. Let's go ahead and hit return to home. So I'm going to hit return to home on the controller, which is this button on the right. And it took that command immediately. And the drone is just reversing back to us at what height? At 19 meters. So that's a fairly low return to home height. Let's see how it does. And I see it's got the landing lights on the bottom. And I am not sure. Maybe it turns those on every time it lands. Looks like it's going to be pretty close here. So you're gonna see it on the camera here any second. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty darn close to the. Yeah, so I mean it's about 2 feet off of the mat, so that's perfectly acceptable. Normally what you do is when you came back like that, you'd manually land it. Okay, let's take off again and let's fly around a little bit. So again, unlock and then take off. And it's completed its takeoff. And we are still recording. So yeah, I'm just gonna move forward here. And let's get out, we're gonna get out over the, boy, I'll tell you, it's a little disconcerting. I watch it move around just a little bit. It is not the steadiest drone in the world. It definitely moves around in the air. So I guess you can see it. Yeah, I'm looking at the FPV feed right now. You can see it moving around. Yeah, those circles are getting bigger. I'm gonna bring it down here. When you start seeing those circles, you start thinking that it might need another compass calibration. Let's see how it does here. It's kind of calmed down. Okay, let's go back up. It started moving in circles there, so that had me a little worried. Let's move out over the pond here. Let's get it up. Let's get it up a ways. Let's get it about 30 meters high, so we're up there a ways. And let's move it out over the pond. And we're going, let's see, about 8 meters per second. And we're going into the sun here, so take that into, and boy, it's kind of going a little crooked here. Yeah, I'll tell you what, these controls are, yeah, FPV feed is lagging really bad. And I have got to return to home, and I think that's because of battery here. I'm seeing just two, yeah, it's coming back. So I think it reaches a certain point that on battery, if it's less than half a battery, it limits your range, I think, to 30 meters. And yeah, it's coming down, so it's landing. So it must have decided that, that it's about gone through a full battery already. Well, we messed around there for quite a bit. And it's off a ways, so we'll let it land. I've got another, battery. We'll try that guy out. But you can see I'll stand next to it here. Yeah, you know, we're a couple feet off the pad, so yeah, probably more like 3 or 4 feet off the pad. And now it's asking for a calibration, so we'll do that. And you know, we kind of saw that in the. So let me go ahead and I've actually got a graphic on the screen now. So let's go ahead and calibrate. And we got a beep. Yeah, so it says we're calibrated, so that's good. And it wants to do a horizontal calibration. Yeah, so let's go ahead and we're still recording, and if you look at the battery meter, we're only at half a battery. So I don't know, I'm tempted to take off again. Let's take off again here before we change out the battery and see. Yeah, no, I can't unlock the motors. Yeah, it won't let me take off. So it's saying that the battery is too low. So let's swap out the battery here real quick. Better stop recording. So hopefully we saved some kind of video there. Hey, okay, I'm getting it fired back up here. I want to show you real quick. The battery is still showing 3 lights on it. If you look, 3 lights there. So I don't know, if we looked on the app, it was down about half, but clearly it wouldn't even let me restart the drone. So it was saying, and it did a low battery return, so I don't even know what to say there. I'm waiting for the app to connect right now. And it does say connecting to aircraft, so we're getting there. Yeah, W80, start flying. We've already got 16 satellites, so we're good. And it takes us to that beginner screen again. ready to fly. We're getting that, you know, we get that same SD card error. So I don't know if we're saving any video to the SD card or not. But ready. It says we're ready to take off. Let's go ahead and see if we can do, if we can put it into calibration mode again. From what I saw last time, I just, you know, it asked us to calibrate after we landed again. So let's try that one more time. Both sticks up and out are supposed to put it in calibration mode. Well, I saw no indication of that there. So let's go into the settings again, and I'm going to go start calibration on compass calibration. Slide to the right. Yeah, so as soon as I slid it, that's what I didn't do last time. Then it asked me, okay. So if you read that, it looked like you had to wait until you were done before you slid that. So there we go. Yeah, so now we're getting the vertical calibration. Calibration finished. So now confirm whether the horizontal calibration, so we're going to slide that and see what happens. And we got a beep, so I assume that's good. And if you look at the top there, it shows our battery is full. So let's quit messing around. Let's get this guy in the air. One more time. So I think all we accomplished last time was, and let me start video. Okay, I started recording. And I think all we accomplished last time was perhaps, and it does look steadier. So I don't think, maybe we never really, in fact, it even flies better. You know, I don't even think, so we must not have got a good calibration last time. That was the issue. How would you know, though? That's the problem with that. The lights had stopped beeping. Yeah, this is much better. Okay. I'm telling you, whatever, and it's already showing 1 bar off of the battery, so let's quit messing around. Let's get this guy, let's move out over the pond here. And yeah, it's kind of flying sideways, even though I've got the, yeah, I'm telling you, yeah, the controls kind of have a mind of their own. I had the right stick pushed straight up and it was kind of moving sideways. So I'm going to push the right stick and you see it moving around here. Yeah, I mean the drone is, it's definitely moving around. Let's move and see if we can get it out over the pond. And there it goes at, let's see, 6 meters per second. Let me check our speed mode here. There, that should be high speed. And boy, I'll tell you, the way the FPV feed jumps around on this guy. Yeah, and that takes us up to 8 meters per second. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to turn it around on your local network. Yeah, it's giving me, it wants to connect to my local network. Yeah, we definitely want to do that. Wow. That was, I was trying to, you know, there's so much lag in this FPV feed that it's difficult to point the drone, but now we have the sun at our back. So this is a little bit better feed. And yeah, so let's, boy, I'll tell you what, there's so much lag in this feed, I just don't trust it. So I'm picking up our altitude a little more. I wanted to fly over the, they finally have the pickleball courts here fixed, repaired, ready to go. Yeah, so now I got a beep. I don't know for what. And it's coming back to us, I believe. Yeah, it's beeping. I believe it's in return to home. Yeah, the distance just is coming down, so I don't know what happened there. I don't know why it's returning. So turn back, it said. Yeah, what that was about, I have no idea. I stopped that. I mean, you know, we've only been flying for just a couple minutes, so Yeah, and the drone just turned around there again. I'm telling you guys, this guy's got a mind of its own. So let's bring it back here. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I'm watching it up. It's up above me here, and it's definitely moving around quite a bit. So let me see if I can drop the camera down a little. I can tell you as far as the steadiness on FPV, I see a little bit of a crooked horizon, but the view looks pretty good. So I'm thinking it's a pretty decent camera. But there's so much lag in the controls, it's just tough to see. So you know, I don't know. Maybe we can try. Let's just try one of the intelligent flight modes. Let's see if we can do a waypoint flight. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to do just. It's got a pretty small area that it'll do it in. So let's see here. And I'll see if I can end it right in front of us, and we're going to click go. And let's see what it does here. And it's, you know, it's dropping in altitude. Yeah, I don't want it to do that. We're going to hit a tree or something. So I stopped it. Yeah, we got trees around here. It dropped down to I don't know, 21 meters. We're probably okay. I don't know if I trust it, guys. Let's click go. We'll try it. I wish it was up there a little higher, though. I can tell you that. And it's going to its second waypoint now. Off to 2. And it's a fairly tight radius on the waypoints here, but it's doing it. And it's high enough, I guess. But I kind of wanted it a little bit higher. There's 3. And off to 4, which should be right behind me. And it's hauling the mail pretty good when it does it. It's moving right along. It doesn't mess around. So you can see where I'm at. It's right above me now. Going to 5. There we go. Okay. So now, so it's going back to its original spot, which I kind of like too. Okay, so let's get out of there, and let's bring the drone down and bring it back to us here a little bit. I kind of want to do an orbit, but I'm a little bit afraid to. I don't know what height it'll want to be at to do an orbit. So, you know, it does not have obstacle avoidance of any kind. And we got trees in this area, so yeah, I'm a little nervous to try that here, because you know, if I could set it up at a, let's go up. I'm going to move it back, and let's go up at a good height. And let's see if we can do an orbit, and let's just see if it'll do it. If it starts to drop, I'm going to get it out of there. So we're going to go into surrounding, it says. And I think I had it set to a fairly small orbit. Yeah, so it's staying at its height, so that's good. Yeah, okay, I was afraid it would drop at altitude like it did. So it's doing its orbit just fine. Yeah, so there's orbit for you. And looks like we are down to about 50% on battery. So it's running the battery down pretty darn quick. And then we'll see if we can really quickly try follow me here. So let's stop that. And we'll bring this guy down. And I'll see if I can do a follow me. Again, we're going to have to be kind of careful because we do have we've got a lot of trees, so. And this guy has no obstacle avoidance. It's coming down fairly slow. So I wonder if I can go higher and just drop the camera down. And let's try it and let's see what it does. This will be a little scary, but we're going to try it. We're going to go into GPS follow, and it should follow my phone. So let's see what it does. And it is. It's following me. Let's cross the street here. Yeah, it's working great. Yeah, and we got a duck flying by. Yeah, no, that follow me works perfectly. And GPS follow me, as you know, it keys in on the GPS on your phone. So now it's backing up, and I see I'm out of screen. And that's the problem with GPS follow me, is it's not going to keep you in center of frame at all. But I can tell you the drone is coming back. Okay, I'm going to take it out of that, and let's grab some altitude. Pick up that camera. Grab some more altitude. I want to fly it out here a ways. Let's see if we can. Maybe we can make it out to those to the pickleball courts. And we're in speed mode 2, so this is high speed mode. And again, and you know, I don't know what happened with that last battery, but clearly this battery, it's down to 1 bar, and it hasn't gone into return to home. So I don't know what happened on that first battery. Let's see if we can get out there and get back. It's got to be almost in. Yeah, it put itself into return to home, as it should, because we're down to 1 bar on the battery. So it's coming back, and it's coming back fast. We're just going to let it land. And yeah, one thing I noticed is that those the bottom LED lights are on. So I don't know if they're always on or if it's just when it's in landing mode. I didn't pay attention earlier. It's coming down.
I couldn't find attention earlier in your Apple Music.
Yeah. So it's gonna be pretty close. Let me see if I can drop this camera down. Well, I'll do my best. I don't think it points 90 degrees down, but there you can see the landing pad, so you can see we're fairly close. I'm picking that camera back up, and we're in the grass. You saw that on the Action 2 camera, and it's asking for a calibration, but we're done. We'll shut it down. And one thing you want to do, you always want to remember on drones like this, is you remember to stop recording so you don't have a corrupted recording. And we did that. Let me get this guy shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay guys, the ATTOP W80. This guy is sold on Amazon. I'll put a link down below, an affiliate link. Couple of things on this drone. It's typical of drones in this price range that it's not perfect. You know, you guys will have seen already whether I had to take video that was transmitted to my phone or off the SD card. I don't know if we got any video on the SD card. We did finally get it to format, but whether it saved anything there or not, I don't know, because we were still getting that error on the app. And then beyond that, the first time we took off, we had some issues with controllability on the drone, etc. And then we got about 3/4 of a battery, and it wanted to come back. So something was going on there. I don't think we ever calibrated it correctly on that first flight. It's a little, the on-screen instructions, you know, it said slide when calibration is completed. And yeah, so yeah, I don't know what happened there. The second time we did that, it gave us that calibration graphic, so I felt confident that we got it that time. But even I noticed when we landed it on this battery, it asked for a calibration again. So don't know what's going on there. Those are the kind of things that can be frustrating for somebody, because the kind of folks that are going to buy this drone are people that probably have never flown a drone before or are graduating from a non-GPS drone. So those kind of things can be frustrating. Video-wise, I can tell you it looked pretty good on FPV screen. You guys will have seen already. I'm anxious to see if we got something on the SD card. I will say this, the Waypoint mission worked just fine. I was a little concerned there when it descended, and I didn't pay attention to how far down it came, but I was worried because I've got trees around here. But it was fine, and it completed the Waypoint mission just fine. It is a fairly tight area. It doesn't let you go very far. And then it also, we did an orbit, did an orbit perfectly. And then the follow me function, the GPS follow me function worked just fine. But again, like GPS follow me functions do, it doesn't exactly keep you in center of frame. So I always kind of wonder what's the point on them. It's, you know, it's a fairly powerful drone. I think we got it up to 8 meters per second in the high speed mode. So yeah, that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. The ATTOP W80, or sometimes as it's known, the Wolvy Pro. All right, see you guys later.